and a remarkable and mysterious response appeared in the form of crop circles near the Chilbolton Observatory in Hampshire.
I do not believe in aliens. I do not believe in ghosts. I believe in Satan and demons. I know that sounds stupid, but that's the truth. But I believe in ghosts more than I believe in aliens. I don't know why, because there should be a possibility that there are aliens out there. But when I think of aliens, I think of those balloon people with big eyes. I think that there are like mooses with trees as antlers. I believe that's the case, but not things with consciousness, or what you call it. But today I am going to be mind changed, if that's a word. We're gonna watch The Evidence of Aliens by Neural Pathways. This is a long video, and if you can change my mind on this, please let me know in the comment section. Have you ever seen an alien? I bet not. You can't prove it. I think it's the government fucking with us. They want us to believe that there is hope out there, but there is not. There is no hope. Let's get into the video. Welcome to the channel, and hello guys. It's a new video. Yeah, sorry.
Across the vast expanse of the universe, the question has lingered for centuries. Are we truly alone?
No, I don't think we are.
Today, we are going to do a deep dive into the actual evidence.
Listen. This is what makes me pissed off. If that's the life form we are fearing and believing is flying around in little discs, I think it's something.
We are going to do a deep dive into the actual evidence, some of which is so compelling that it's very hard to refute that there are other life forms that exist in the universe. Before we dive in, though, I'd like to discuss what types of evidence we will look at today and why that is important. We'll approach this in a scientific way, strategically looking into all avenues and categorizing all the evidence into distinct types, each offering a unique perspective.
Wait, what's that? What's that, Will Ferrell? Oh no, okay.
Distinct types, each offering a unique perspective on alien phenomena.
What the fuck?
Over 800 lines total, hundreds of geometric shapes, and at least 100 animals are present in this whole area. Some of the lines are thousands of meters, all the way up to 25 miles, and this is quite incredible.
The categories of evidence we are mostly going to look into today are physical evidence, digital evidence, circumstantial evidence, testimonial evidence, and forensic evidence. Physical and forensic evidence consists of tangible objects or materials directly.
You can't believe that this is real. I could have made that when I was in kindergarten. Just give me a knife and some wood, and I will carve it out for you, and even make it more believable.
Involved in the case, such as extraterrestrial biological material, non-earthly chemical isotopes, technological artifacts, or even DNA samples which provide concrete data.
Were they, I guess, human or non-human biologics?
Non-human, and that was the assessment of people with direct knowledge on the program I talked to that are currently still on the program.
Digital evidence includes any data stored or transmitted in digital form that can serve as proof in an investigation, such as audio recordings, videos, or digital photos. When we look at categories of evidence such as circumstantial and testimonial, whilst they can be very compelling, it involves indirect information that requires inference to connect it to a conclusion, such as finding someone's fingerprint at a crime scene. In doing so, it does not conclusively prove that the person in question committed a crime, but it does make it...
What the crap are you beating people to say that aliens exist?
More likely they did. Testimonial evidence, on the other hand, is direct evidence provided by witnesses who recount what they observed or experienced firsthand. Again, this evidence can be very convincing, but memory has been proven to be faulty and inaccurate time and time again. With all that in mind, let's take a look at what evidence we have for the existence of aliens.
Nice.
Historical artifacts. Firmly sitting under the category of circumstantial evidence, we are going to look at some artifacts from history that imply the existence of aliens.
Wow.
These artifacts are very much open to interpretation, but when you see them, you'll certainly have some questions.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna interpret it. I'm gonna debunk everything here. I bet you that everything has a logical explanation.
Are the Jomon figures. These ancient artifacts from Japan date back to as early as 14,000 BC.
Damn.
These figures, characterized by their elaborate patterns and peculiar forms, bear a striking resemblance to what modern culture often depicts as extraterrestrial beings. With large, bulging eyes and elongated heads, these figures seem to echo the descriptions of alien beings reported.
Okay, even though it's a long time ago,
Countless
they
modern-
have fantasy. Can't people have fantasy? Fantasy creatures. Look at what the creatures we are making today. Like this. It's not like we have seen this before, you know? But we make it anyway out of fantasy. If I saw that guy knocking on my door, I would be really angry. Even him. So that the Chinese people, or what he said, made some figures that didn't look like humans back then, that doesn't mean it's aliens.
Encounters. Skeptics and mainstream historians, however, offer a different perspective.
Yes.
They argue that these figures are merely artistic expressions of the human form, heavily
Yes.
stylized in the unique aesthetic of the Jomon period. They suggest that the features which resemble modern interpretations of aliens could be
That doesn't look like an alien I've ever seen.
coincidental, influenced by the artistic conventions and religious symbolism of that era. Yet, the debate persists. Out-of-the-box thinkers argue that these similarities are too significant to dismiss. They suggest that such figures could be evidence of ancient human contact with extraterrestrial visitors, whose appearance was immortalized in clay. That this ancient civilization simply depicted what they saw.
Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. I've always
That this
imagined going on a trip in the
terrestrial
forest
visitors, whose appearance
and coming over this, people with long masks dancing around with spears and arrows. That's my biggest fear.
was immortalized in clay. That this ancient civilization simply depicted what they saw thousands
this
of
is
years
fantasy.
ago. As we delve deeper into the physical evidence of potential alien encounters throughout history, the Jomon figures stand as a compelling piece of the puzzle.
No?
Are they mere products of creative expression?
Yes.
Or do they hold the key to understanding our ancient past and possible interactions with otherworldly visitors?
I don't know.
The answer remains a subject of intense debate and fascination. The Kimberley rock paintings.
Okay, so this is a new evidence. Okay, so the first evidence, you can agree that's not evidence.
While the United States has often been at the forefront of UFO investigations, other regions of the world have long harbored evidence of potential ancient alien encounters. One such place is Australia, home to the enigmatic Kimberley rock paintings. These ancient artworks, some of which date back over 20,000 years,
What?
depict figures that many believe bear a striking resemblance to aliens. In the Kimberley region, the rock art showcases mysterious beings, known as the Wandjina. These figures are characterized by their large, black eyes, halo-like heads, and lack of mouths, features that align curiously well with modern depictions of alien beings. Many argue that these characteristics are not merely artistic expressions, but rather
That's a mushroom with a face. People have creativity.
they're clear depictions of beings from another world,
No.
possibly visitors that ancient Aboriginal Australians encountered, and then
Maybe one... Oh, damn, look. See, they have humor. That looks like a turtle.
painted those encounters as historical records.
That's a turtle.
However, mainstream archaeology and anthropology offer a different perspective. Scholars argue that the Wandjina represent spiritual beings from the belief systems of the indigenous people of the Kimberley. They suggest that these images are religious or mythological in nature, embodying elements of weather and natural forces rather than visitors from the cosmos. But these cave
agree.
paintings are not the only ones. There are lots of examples around the world of seemingly unconnected civilizations depicting very similar forms of art, and lots of them fit the same description as
That's not similar at all.
the Wandjina found in Australia. The Ubaid lizardmen. In the heart of ancient Mesopotamia, archaeologists unearthed curious figurines dating back to the Ubaid period.
That's not... You are looking at the wrong thing.
The Ubaid lizardmen. In the heart of ancient
This is something aliens could have built. I would have believed that more
Ancient
Then
Mesopotamia.
they find little carvings of rock that looks like a lizard man. Get out of here.
Archaeologists unearthed curious figurines dating back to the Ubaid period, around 6,500 to 3,800 BC. These statues, often referred to as the Ubaid lizardmen, depict humanoid figures with elongated heads, almond-shaped eyes, and lizard-like snouts. These features have sparked a debate among scholars and enthusiasts alike about their resemblance to modern depictions of extraterrestrials.
That's not a modern terrestrial depiction. I don't know if you're just taking things out. Okay, look at this. In 10,000 years, an architect or archaeologist, or what they call, they're gonna find this one buried under my dead body, and they're gonna say, this depicts the face of the aliens. And no, it's just fish face from Fortnite. Maybe these characters or the stone pieces they find are characters from a movie they've seen or something. I don't know, theater.
On one side of the debate, some suggest that these figures could be artistic representations of mythological beings or gods, possibly embodying traits that were revered or feared by the Ubaid people.
Every single evidence from now on, people think they are descriptions of the extraterrestrial beings we see today. But most people think it describes a god or another being in the belief system of the people. Yes, that's the case here. People that see aliens in everything will see aliens in everything, trust me. But I'm up to being changed in my mind. So if you have evidence or a story you can tell me that will make me change my mind, I'm up to hear it. Or another video maybe, but I like this video.
They argue that in many ancient cultures, hybrid creatures, like those half human and half animal, were symbolic, often representing gods or supernatural beings. Conversely, others propose that these figures are evidence of alien visitation in ancient times. They point to the distinct non-human characteristics of the figures as potential proof of extraterrestrial influence, suggesting that such detailed depiction could stem from actual encounters with otherworldly beings. This historical period was around the same time as many inventions first appeared, such as the wheel, arithmetic, geometry, and irrigation for agriculture. Before this time, Homo sapiens had existed for over 300,000 years with very little change. Was our sudden explosion of inventions, mathematics, and language the result of some encounter? The mainstream narrative, however, leans toward
I can't believe that we were these
mathematics
people
and
once. I can't believe it. I'm not sure if I believe in the world anymore. This is weird. Try to imagine us being like this, like, what is that? To another one, and they smash your head in with a baseball bat or a dinosaur leg or something. You can't imagine that. I think this is all just... Maybe I am the only person living on this planet. It's impossible to know.
the result of some encounter. The mainstream narrative, however, leans towards a more symbolic interpretation. Experts in Mesopotamian history and culture typically view these artifacts as part of the rich tapestry of ancient mythology and religious practice, not as literal representations of physical beings. They emphasize the importance of context in archaeological interpretation, suggesting that these figures align with many other symbolic artifacts found throughout the region. The Nazca Lines.
Okay,
In
this
the
is
arid plains of
interesting.
southern Peru lies one of the most mystifying archaeological sites in the world, the Nazca Lines.
What?
These enormous geoglyphs, said to be created by the ancient Nazca culture between 500 BC and 500 AD, depict various plants, animals, and shapes traced on the ground on a monumental scale, visible fully only from the air.
Okay,
A question
that's
that has
cool.
puzzled scientists and enthusiasts
That
alike.
is cool, but okay, I'm gonna try to explain this to you. How can they prove that this is old? How can you prove that this is not something the people living there made so that tourists would come? If I was a poor country, I would make a 1,000-foot figure of a penis that was supposedly from the alien times. You know what I mean.
Is simple yet profound. Why were they created? And could they be evidence of extraterrestrial contact? Alternative theorists suggest that the Nazca lines may have served as a form of communication with beings from another world. They argue that the sheer size and precision of the figures, which include a spider, a monkey, and a humming.
Oh yeah, I'm an alien, I'm flying over Earth. Oh, a monkey, that means hello everybody, how are you doing up there? The spider means you can come down if you want food. And the bird means, don't come down here or we will kill you. If you want to talk to someone, just type, hello guys, or something.
Bird, among others, could not have been intended for human eyes. Instead, these massive drawings, which can stretch up to 1,200 feet, were perhaps designed to be viewed from the sky, possibly acting as landing markers or navigational aids for alien spacecraft. This theory is...
Alright, we're flying here, beep bop, beep bop, beep bop. There's the monkey, that means land here. But, no, that's Roblox. That's Roblox.
Bolstered by...
And that's Poppy Playtime? What?
By the fact that the lines have survived...
Wait, what if Poppy Playtime is an alien?
...for millennia, due to the extremely stable and dry climate of the Nazca Desert, which could imply a purpose beyond mere decoration or ritual. Moreover, supporters of this extraterrestrial hypothesis point to the technological sophistication required to construct such precise and intricate figures on such a grand scale.
What? What do you need? A shovel?
They question how the Nazca people could have achieved such accuracy without some form of advanced technology or knowledge, potentially provided by alien visitors. The line's geometric precision and the variety of their designs only add layers to the mystery, suggesting a complexity that some believe the Nazca could not have achieved on their own. On the other hand, many archaeologists and historians argue that there is a more grounded explanation for the Nazca lines. Research suggests that these geoglyphs could have held significant cultural and spiritual value for the Nazca people.
Oh, it's a whale. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rude or angry or immature or anything. I just don't see the evidence here.
Some experts propose that the lines functioned as part of ritualistic processes,
Trees.
perhaps related to astronomy and agriculture.
Yeah.
The figures could have served as part of an elaborate celestial calendar used to mark important events such as solstices, which were crucial for agricultural planning and sustaining the Nazca's way of life. Skeptics of the alien theory also highlight the ingenuity of ancient cultures and caution against underestimating their capabilities. They point out that the construction of the lines did not require advanced technology, but could have been accomplished with simple tools and methods available at the time. By using wooden stakes and ropes as guidelines, the Nazca could create straight lines and perfect geometrical figures through careful planning and communal effort. Furthermore, the idea that the Nazca lines must be viewed from the air to be appreciated is contested by the fact that the hills surrounding the Nazca Plain provide ample vantage points. From these natural viewpoints, the shapes are quite discernible, suggesting that the Nazca people could have designed and viewed their creations from these elevated locations without the need for flight.
That is impressive. Look at those straight lines. Psh, 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 psh.
The Nazca mummies. More recently, however, there was a discovery which gained huge media attention.
Oh, hell no.
In the arid expanses of Peru, the discovery has stirred the global community, bringing forth claims and counterclaims about the existence of extraterrestrial life. The Nazca mummies, presented with features far from ordinary, have ignited a fiery debate among scientists, UFO enthusiasts, and skeptics alike. In a recent unveiling in Mexico City, spearheaded by the renowned journalist and UFO researcher Jaime Maussan, 2 mummified specimens were displayed, claiming to be unlike any known earthly species.
Are you sure it's not a rock? You saw the Chinese sculptures? They looked better than... No. But did you know? Back in the day, they put rings around people's necks and around babies' heads so that their head would grow long. and their neck would be thin and long. Maybe they did that to a baby and they sacrificed the child. So this might be a person with like a can over his face, so it just grew around it. A can or a cup in front of the face from the day it's born, and rubber bands around the back of his head. That's how... I'm trying to think.
These specimens, found in the city of Cusco in Peru, and estimated to be 1,000 years old, were encased in glass, drawing the eyes of the world. Maussan, under oath, testified that nearly a third of the DNA from these specimens is unknown, suggesting that these beings are not part of our terrestrial evolution. These are not beings recovered from a UFO crash, Maussan stated. Instead, they were discovered in diatom mines and subsequently became fossilized. However, skepticism runs deep. Critics, including physicist Professor Brian Cox, argue that the mummies are way too humanoid to be genuine extraterrestrial beings.
Yeah.
Cox has advocated for independent verification by biotechnology firms to confirm the origins of these specimens. The controversy deepened when Mexican doctors, after a
Are they carrying them around in cardboard boxes?
series of tests, declared that the mummies
Sorry, coming through have alien bodies here.
each belonged to a single skeleton and were not assembled from various parts, as some skeptics had suggested.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
This finding was supported by CT scans and radiocarbon dating conducted by scientists at the Autonomous National University of Mexico, which also revealed peculiar internal structures, such as eggs, within one of the specimens.
What? Okay, you can see the skeleton inside of... Okay, that's a little weird. But why do they have them there? In that time, did the land... It can actually be a weird monkey that went extinct, that no one has found before. But why is there eggs inside? Those may be pebbles, rocks, or they just put eggs inside of it.
The last news article was published in September 2023, and since that time, we've heard no updates. But as the scientific community remains divided, the mystery of the Nazca mummies continues to perplex and fascinate. Are these the remains of unearthly visitors, or merely elaborate hoaxes woven into mummies? And if they are hoaxes, why would somebody go through that level of effort just to be labeled a fraud months later? The fact that we've had no updates, though, is a little strange to say the least. If anybody knows anything more about this fascinating story, feel free to drop a comment below.
I feel that if this were real, they would have security. You would be shot if you stood there.
Digital evidence.
Oh.
The next category of evidence I'd like to touch upon is digital evidence. This typically comes in the form of audio or video recordings. Let's start back in 1977, when a remarkable event occurred that would tantalize scientists and the public alike for decades. Known as the WOW signal, this burst of radio energy was detected by the Big Ear Radio Telescope at Ohio State University. Named after the astonished reaction of astronomer Jerry R. Amen, who scribbled "wow" on the printout of the signal.
Oh yeah.
This 72-second
yeah.
anomaly appeared to come from the direction of the constellation Sagittarius and bore the hallmarks of potential extraterrestrial origin. The WOW signal stands out primarily due to its frequency.
Wait. Okay, so they got the sound from space?
1,420 megahertz. Notably, this is the natural frequency emitted by hydrogen, the most abundant element in the universe. This has led some to speculate that the signal was intentionally designed to be detected. A beacon, perhaps, from an advanced alien civilization attempting to make contact.
Wow.
The strength and clarity of the signal further fueled these speculations, as it closely resembled the expected signature that an interstellar beacon might emit. And it's clear when you listen to the audio recording why Jerry R. Amen reacted the way he did. Have a listen to this. However, despite the excitement and intrigue surrounding the WOW signal, mainstream scientific consensus leans towards more prosaic explanations. One prevailing theory suggests that the signal was a result of an Earth-based source, such as a satellite or a terrestrial broadcast, which somehow reflected off debris or a satellite in orbit, creating a signal that only appeared to be from deep space. Another possibility considered by scientists is that the signal was a natural but transient astronomical phenomenon, something previously unobserved, like a hydrogen cloud passing through a high-energy environment, which could amplify its radio emissions temporarily. Whatever it was, it's clear that there is much more to this phenomenon that we are yet to understand. And because it's not happened again since, we are yet to get to the bottom of just what this mysterious signal means, if anything.
Many times in the decades since then, astronomers have looked at the same part of the sky to see whether they can find the WOW signal again, but we've never been able to replicate it. So the key to progress in SETI is to be able to find a signal that looks as good as the WOW
Imagine screaming into one of those.
signal, but now to be able to find it not just once, but over and over and over again.
Unidentified aerial phenomena, or UAPs. In a groundbreaking move on October 31st, 2023, the Department of Defense unveiled a new phase in its approach to unidentified aerial phenomena, or UAPs. This initiative, part of the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office,
is that in the sky?
Its secure reporting mechanism, marks a significant shift in how the government handles these mysterious sightings. But why now? And what does this mean for the public and the broader conversation about extraterrestrial life? The newly launched platform is specifically designed for current or former U.S. government employees, service members, or contractors. These individuals are encouraged to come forward with any direct knowledge of U.S. government activities or programs related to UAPs, dating all the way back to 1945. This move is not just about gathering data, it's about creating a comprehensive historical record. The information collected will feed into the AARO's congressionally directed historical record report, which
Okay, so every evidence people get, they have to turn it in to the government?
is due to be presented to Congress by June 2020.
But that's a you can see that's bacteria, that's the blood cells that you see. Close your eyes now and you can see the blood cells going up and down. That's what that is.
This initiative raises several pressing questions. Is the government's decision to open up about UAPs driven by a desire to maintain control over the narrative surrounding these unexplained phenomena?
That's the friend that you hate being around, the friend that won't stop talking.
UAPs driven by a desire to
Yeah, get the hell out of my face right now.
maintain control over the narrative surrounding these unexplained
But you know, my wife actually liked the dinner I cooked last night. It was really good. You should try that with your wife. Yeah. Won't he ever shut the hell up?
phenomena? Or does it reflect a genuine interest in transparency and understanding? Critics argue that this could be a strategic move to shape the discourse around UAPs, ensuring that any revelations align with official narratives.
No.
On the other hand, proponents see this as
that looks fake. That's a hole in your camera. It doesn't move. That's a spot on your camera. You need to clean it.
positive step towards demystifying.
That's like if I put a black dot on my camera now and started filming, like, oh, it's an alien. I swear to God, American people, they want to see what they see. They see what they want to see.
A subject that has long been shrouded in secrecy and speculation. Another critical aspect to consider is the accessibility of this information. Will the findings from these reports be openly shared with the public? Or will they be tucked away in classified briefings, accessible only to a select few?
Look at them. Adult men paid to do this. Oh. And it's just a spot on the camera.
Accessible only to a select few. The balance between national security and public curiosity is delicate, and how the government navigates this will be telling of their true intentions. What the Department of Defense did do, however, was declassify several videos of UAPs, in a move which allows people to view the video footage directly on their website.
Oh.
This move is said to be about building trust, but skeptics argue this could just be a distraction from what is really going on. The Arecibo message. Let's rewind back to 1974.
Okay,
when a bold
let's do
attempt
that.
was made to communicate with potential extraterrestrial civilizations. This endeavor, known as the Arecibo message, was crafted by a team of scientists led by Frank Drake and Carl Sagan.
Wow. So these two guys, they were like Let's send a message to the aliens. Let's pull up Tetris and make a human and some doodles. And the aliens will understand us.
Carl Sagan, broadcasted from the Arecibo Observatory in Puerto Rico. The
Did they
message was a
build
digital
that
stream
to
containing
send
information about
that?
human beings, the DNA structure, our solar system, and the technology we use to send the message, the Arecibo radio telescope itself. It was aimed at the star cluster M13, approximately 25,000 light years
not
away,
the
in hopes that it
M13.
might one day be intercepted by an intelligent alien life form. Fast forward to 2001, and a remarkable and mysterious response appeared in the form of crop circles near the Chilbolton Observatory in Hampshire, England.
No.
These crop
No.
formations were unlike any other previously seen.
No.
One depicted a humanoid face, and another mirrored the format of the Arecibo message, but with
No.
notable alterations.
Hell no.
The new formation outlined a different DNA structure, a silicon-based
Is that a DNA structure?
chemistry, an alternative solar system, and a depiction of the extraterrestrial sender which was distinctly non-human. This response in crop form ignited a firestorm of debate among scientists and UFO enthusiasts. Skeptics argue that the Chilbolton crop circles
But
were an elaborate
how can
hoax,
they-
pointing out the human capacity for creativity and deception. They suggest that the formations were man-made, designed to stir up interest or challenge the boundaries of what we believe is possible. Critics of the
how?
extraterrestrial theory also question the practicality of aliens choosing such an indirect and ambiguous method to communicate. Testimonial evidence.
What?
A lot
But-
of the evidence
Okay, that's the closest thing I've come to believing to now. How did if that's human, how do they make it?
which has been gathered over the years falls within the category of testimonial evidence. We find tens of thousands of eyewitness accounts, all saying very similar things. In a court case, a witness is seen as key evidence. In an alien encounter, it's often discredited, and that's mostly
Why do we think aliens look like this?
because to prove that aliens exist requires extraordinary evidence without any reasonable
hell
doubt
no.
whatsoever.
Oh
And when it
yeah,
comes
I've
to
heard
alien-
about that one. I hope it comes to that. There was a UFO that crashed and there was a dead alien
In
inside.
encounters, witnesses have a lot to gain, both in the form of fame and monetary incentives. With that in mind, let's take a look at some extraordinary eyewitness accounts and stories of alien encounters. The Roswell Incident. In the quiet desert town of Roswell, New Mexico, a mysterious event in July 1947 would ignite decades of speculation and intrigue. This was known as the Roswell Incident.
Oh,
The incident
yeah.
began when a local rancher discovered unusual debris scattered across his property. The material was unlike anything he had ever seen.
That's foil, tin foil.
Metallic sticks, foil reflectors, and other strange fragments. The rancher reported his find to the local sheriff, who then passed the information to the Roswell Army Airfield. The military quickly became involved, and the initial press release shocked the world. It stated that the wreckage of a flying disc had been recovered. However, within 24 hours, the narrative shifted dramatically.
Oh, I have never seen this material before. Oh,
The military recanted their original statement, declaring the debris was merely a downed weather balloon. This explanation did little to quell the public's curiosity,
hell no. No, this can't be real.
as many began to suspect a cover-up.
Oh yeah.
Supporters of the extraterrestrial theory point to a variety of evidence. Eyewitness accounts from local residents and military
That's Rick Astley.
personnel describe materials with unusual properties, such as memory metal that could return to its original shape when crumpled. Some witnesses even claim to have seen alien bodies recovered from the crash site.
Bruh.
These accounts were later supported by various government and military officials who came forward in subsequent years, suggesting that the incident was indeed a UFO crash, and that the subsequent cover-up was an effort to prevent public panic and maintain control over alien technology. On the other side of the debate, skeptics argue that the evidence for an extraterrestrial event at Roswell is flimsy and circumstantial. They point out that the initial descriptions of the debris are consistent with materials used in high-altitude balloons, like those used in Project Mogul,
Yeah, Project Mogul.
a top-secret government project aimed at espionage. Project Mogul balloons were designed to detect sound waves in the upper atmosphere, an early attempt at spying during the Cold War. Skeptics also question the reliability of witness testimonies, noting that many of the most sensational accounts emerged decades after the incident. possibly distorted by time and the influence of popular media. Furthermore, government investigations, including the 1994 Air Force report, have concluded that the debris found at Roswell was indeed from a crashed Project Mogul balloon. This report attempted to debunk the UFO claims by providing photos and evidence of the balloon's materials, which closely match descriptions of the Roswell debris. What do you think?
I have never
Does this
seen
explain the
this
Roswell
before.
incident?
Yes.
Or is this
it
more
does.
of the type of cover-up that is
Nothing indicates that there is aliens.
Been claimed by
they haven't been here.
skeptics for years? The Rendlesham Forest incident. In the
no.
quiet hours of December 26, 1980, in the dense
happened?
woods of Rendlesham Forest in Suffolk, England, an incident unfolded that would become one of the most debated and scrutinized events in UFO history. Known as Britain's Roswell, the Rendlesham Forest incident involves multiple United States Air Force personnel who were stationed at RAF Woodbridge. They report seeing strange lights and experiencing phenomena that some believe was of extraterrestrial
That's a New York City crackhead.
origin. The first encounter occurred when security personnel observed mysterious lights descending into the forest. Thinking it might be a downed aircraft, they ventured into the woods to investigate. What they found was not a conventional aircraft, but an illuminated triangular craft with a strange pulsating light. As they approached, it maneuvered through the trees and disappeared. The servicemen returned to base, but the mystery didn't end there. Over the next 2 nights, the phenomenon repeated, with additional witnesses, including the base deputy commander, Lieutenant Colonel Charles Halt. Halt led a team into the forest armed with radiation detectors and recording equipment. His team encountered a flashing light and a red sun-like light moving through the trees. The radiation detector reportedly showed higher than average
This is stories.
readings.
You know, when I looked out of my window last night, I saw a 30-foot high alien-looking creature standing there watching me. Believe me when I say it, that's an alien. And I saw light also pulsating out of it. No humanoid creature could do that. And then it disappeared when I took a picture.
Halt recorded his observations
But I recorded it, but the camera stopped recording when I hit it.
on an audio tape, which later became a crucial piece of evidence supporting
Audio
the
tape?
claims of a UFO sighting.
Do we have...
150 feet or more from the initial, I should say, suspected impact point. Having a lift on it, can't get the light all to work. Seems to be some kind of mechanical problem. Let's send back, get another light. Meantime, we're going to take some readings with the Geiger counter and
Brain the break crash rice no from the right. You
Skeptics, however, offer alternative explanations. They suggest that the lights seen over Rendlesham Forest were from a nearby lighthouse or bright stars, possibly distorted by atmospheric conditions. The radiation readings, they argue, were not significantly higher than the background levels and could be attributed to natural sources. Moreover, the physical evidence, such as impressions and marks found at the site, could have been made by animals or human activity. The believers counter these arguments by pointing to the credibility and training of the witnesses, all military personnel accustomed to identifying conventional aircraft and understanding natural phenomena. The detailed accounts of the craft's appearance and movements, they argue, do not align with any known terrestrial vehicle or optical illusions caused by a lighthouse.
That's
Adding to the
Jeffrey
complexity,
Dahmer.
in 2010, a former U.S. Air Force security officer claimed that the incident was a setup by the SAS, a special forces unit of the British Army, as a revenge prank on the USAF. This theory, however, has been met with skepticism, both for lack of supporting evidence and the serious nature of the security implications that a prank like this would involve. The Rendlesham Forest incident remains a compelling narrative of unexplained
Is this what they saw? Saw? That doesn't look easy to fly.
events. The evidence for an extraterrestrial
Wow, that's the evidence. That's the evidence. Okay, now I believe.
encounter includes multiple eyewitness accounts from trained observers,
Oh.
unusual radiation readings, and an audio recording of the live investigation. On the other hand, the evidence against it being an alien encounter points to a misidentification of natural or man-made origin, a suggestion of normal radiation levels, and a lack of physical evidence conclusively linked to an alien visitation. The Kecksburg UFO incident. In the quiet village of Kecksburg, Pennsylvania, It's said that a fiery object streaked across the sky on the
comet.
evening of December 9th, 1965.
A comet.
Witnesses described it as a brilliant fireball seen across 6 U.S. states and parts of Canada. As it crashed into the woods near Kecksburg, it sparked a controversy that endures to this day.
Bruh, that's the biggest butt plug I've ever seen.
Was it a meteor, a secret Soviet satellite, or something far more mysterious? The official explanation from the U.S. government
So it
was that
can either be a UFO or a Soviet.
nothing had been found. However, local residents and first-hand witnesses tell a different story. They reported that a large acorn-shaped object, about the size of a small car, bearing strange hieroglyphic-like inscriptions, had indeed landed in their town.
Wow, that's strange.
According to these accounts, the military quickly cordoned off the area, and a large flatbed truck was seen leaving the woods that night, carrying a mysterious large object covered with a tarp. Skeptics argue that the Kecksburg incident can be easily explained by earthly phenomena.
Oh yeah.
They suggest that what crashed in the
It's just something from a satellite or something.
woods was likely a meteor, or possibly debris from a Soviet satellite, like
Yeah.
the failed Venus probe Cosmos 96, which re-entered Earth's atmosphere that same day. The military's response, they argue, was a standard procedure for recovering Soviet space debris during the Cold War, which could explain the secrecy and the rapid response.
Yeah.
On the other hand, those who believe something extraordinary happened in Kecksburg point to the physical descriptions of the object, which do not align with known meteorites or any familiar man-made space debris. The hieroglyphic-like markings, in particular, do not correspond with any known human or Soviet symbols.
No, but people can prank. If I wanted to prank America, I would send a big acorn butt plug their way with faces of aliens on it.
Used in space equipment. Furthermore, the intense military presence and the swift, secretive cleanup operation suggest to some that the object was of high importance and possibly of non-earthly origin. Adding to the mystery, some researchers have filed Freedom of Information Act requests seeking details about the incident. The results have been inconclusive, with some government documents heavily redacted, providing no clear answers, but fueling further speculation about a cover-up. The Kecksburg UFO incident remains a compelling story of unexplained phenomena. Whether it was a terrestrial event cloaked in Cold War secrecy, or evidence of extraterrestrial visitation, continues to be debated. As with many such incidents, the lack of definitive proof leaves the door open for interpretation, skepticism, and ongoing curiosity. What truly happened in Kecksburg that winter night in 1965? Perhaps
You
only
don't
time
have
will tell if the
anything,
truth will
to
ever
do
come
with
to
that?
light. The Bob White Object. In the quiet darkness of a December night in 1985, Bob White, alongside a friend, was driving through the remote areas of Colorado when they encountered something extraordinary. As they traveled, a bright light in the sky caught their attention. This light, unlike any typical aircraft, maneuvered erratically before ejecting a glowing object. Bob White, driven by curiosity and a hint of disbelief, stopped the car and watched as the object descended to Earth.
What?
He recovered the object, which was still glowing hot, and thus began the tale of the
Is this real?
Bob White Object, a piece of physical evidence that some claim could prove the existence of extraterrestrial technology.
I swear to God, you just see anything and say that's proof of extraterrestrial technology.
The object in question, approximately 7.5 inches
What?
long
That
and
looks
weighing
like
about
snake
1.74 pounds,
scales.
is metallic and teardrop-shaped. Over the years, it has undergone numerous scientific analyses to ascertain its origin.
That's a plant.
Proponents of its extraterrestrial origin
That's a plant.
argue that the composition of the object
bonsai
is
tree.
unlike any known earthly material. They point to the object's unique isotopic ratios and the presence of elements that, they claim, could not have been formed under conditions found on Earth. However, skeptics provide a robust counter-argument. They suggest that the object's composition, primarily consisting of aluminum and other common metals, does indeed match materials used in terrestrial manufacturing. Critics argue that the isotopic ratios and elemental composition can
Of
be attributed
course.
to known, albeit less common,
Every single evidence has an explanation.
industrial processes. They contend that the object is likely debris from a terrestrial aerospace experiment or an unrecorded satellite re-entry, common occurrences that can produce high-temperature molten debris similar to what Bob White recovered. Further complicating the debate is the scrutiny of the testing methods themselves. Some analyses conducted on the Bob White object have been criticized for lacking rigorous scientific standards, and the reproducibility of the results has been called into question. This criticism points to a need for more standardized, transparent, and repeatable testing to conclusively determine the object's origin. Supporters of the extraterrestrial hypothesis emphasize the circumstances of the object's discovery. They argue that the object's high velocity and the intense heat it retained upon recovery are indicative of a non-terrestrial origin. Moreover, they question why a terrestrial object would be ejected with such force from an unidentified flying object, behaving in ways not typical of any known man-made aircraft. On the other hand, the argument against its extraterrestrial origin is bolstered by Occam's razor, which suggests that the simplest explanation is often the correct one. The skeptics ask, is it more plausible that the object is a piece of alien technology, or simply an unusual yet terrestrial piece of debris? The Aurora, Texas UFO incident. On the morning of April 17, 1897, the residents of Aurora were startled by what was described as an airship crashing into a windmill on the property of a local judge, a man named J.S. Proctor. According to reports, the wreckage from the crash was scattered over several acres, and the townsfolk discovered the body of a being they described as not of this world.
Oh yeah, this is what I've seen.
The alien
This is what I've seen. Hold tight, people.
pilot, as
This is stupid.
some called it, was said to be badly disfigured,
Look,
but clearly not human,
Look.
with features that were strikingly different from ours.
That's him.
The local newspaper, the Dallas Morning News, published an article detailing the incident, which included accounts of the alien's burial in the Aurora Cemetery, complete with a headstone marked with the airship's design. This article serves as a primary piece of evidence for those who believe the incident truly occurred. Proponents argue that the detailed reporting and the physical evidence of the grave and wreckage lend credibility to the story. However, skeptics raise compelling counter-arguments. They point out that there are no surviving pieces of the wreckage today to be analyzed.
what's about the tinfoil?
Critics also highlight that the story
Wow, okay, there it is.
emerged during a time when tales of airships were part of a nationwide hoax, suggesting that the Aurora incident was nothing more than a sensational story fabricated to bring attention to a town suffering from a series of misfortunes, including crop failures and epidemics. Adding to the skepticism, researchers who have delved into historical records found little evidence of Judge Proctor's existence, raising questions about the authenticity of the story's primary location and witness. Furthermore, the headstone supposedly marking the alien's grave was stolen in the 1970s, and the cemetery itself was subjected to vandalism, complicating efforts to verify the claims through modern forensic techniques. It does seem strangely coincidental, however, that the place
That's
where
the
proof could have
government.
been found was vandalized in such a way. Despite these doubts, the legend of the Aurora UFO incident persists, fueled by occasional reports of unusual readings on metal detectors and ground-penetrating radar near the supposed crash site. These findings tantalize believers with the possibility that remnants of the alien ship still lie buried beneath the town. There are many more incidents and eyewitness testimonies, which adds further evidence to what you have already seen today. In fact, history is full of stories, artifacts, and incidents which point towards either a human fascination with something beyond our own existence, or perhaps it's a simple search for meaning in a universe of mystery and unknowns. Either way, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please consider subscribing and let me know if you'd like to see part 2.
I don't know, actually. I don't know. I don't believe. I don't believe at all. No, not at all. But if you believe, please change my mind. I love you. No. Have a great one. Thank you for watching and leave a like. And if you want to subscribe, you can. You have to actually. Okay, goodbye. There's the thumbnail.